Centurions Corner, and today we are doing Centurions Corner's top 10. Now, this has been a long time coming. We're on the 3rd year anniversary. I think it's a great time to carry on those celebrations. I was going to do it as 1 year and 2nd year, or even like end of year for New Year's and stuff like that, but I just don't really get a lot of time to do it, unfortunately. So yeah, now I've put a list together. I've got all the figures laid out in front of me. And it's kind of hard to sort of think like, do I do it personally? Do I do it sort of what is a good figure? Because I could be quite biased, but a lot of it will be like the original trilogy stuff and just my favourite. I suppose there's probably a little bit biased in this list as well, but they are really good figures as well at the same time. So I kind of sort of combined what I think personally makes a really good Black Series figure. Ones that I think Hasbro have done really fantastic, great sculpt, great articulation, just great everything really. There is an honourable list of a few, and I'll put those together and I'll say why they haven't got onto the top 10, to be honest. But yeah, I think this list is really good. Now, some of these figures do share a mould with another figure, so I will choose the pinnacle figure that I think is the best one out of the lot, but also will include those other figures into the review to say like, you know, these are all good figures because this one is great. You know, they've done it well the first time around when they used the mould. I know some of these have been painted as well. They have had an upgrade, but for me, I'm kind of reverting back to how I originally picked up that character. I was still impressed with it, even though we have done an upgrade on it as well. So yeah, that is it. This is the actual list of Centurions Corner, or my personal top 10 that I think Hasbro have done well. So let's start with number 10. So starting it off at number 10 is Darth Maul, Sith Apprentice, from the 50th Lucasfilm anniversary. Hasbro have done a fantastic job on this guy. New body sculpt at the top here of new torso, butterfly joints, pinless elbows, really great face sculpt there of Darth Maul. Just a bit annoying that the red is slightly off compared to the rest of the torso, but the paint applications on here are really cool, with a chrome double-ended lightsaber as well. Extra paint apps that we have applied here is on his hands because they were plain red. Unfortunately, kind of minusing down, he has got the original Darth Maul legs on here, so but it doesn't really take away from the figure at all in posing sort of abilities and stuff like that. What really lets this guy down is that he's more of an unknown looking Darth Maul. It's not like a really cool Darth Maul from Phantom Menace or the Clone Wars. It's more of this one from a graphic novel, so they put all this design into it, you know, but nonetheless it's kind of more of a lesser known looking Maul, and that's why he's at number 10 for me, to be honest with you. But a fantastic figure. He photographs really well, which way you put him in. He's a really good looking figure. So Maul is number 10, and then let's go on to our next. So coming in at number 9, we have the Phantom Menace ObiWan Kenobi. When I got this guy out of the box, my jaw dropped. It was absolutely fantastic. What a great looking Black Series figure, and ObiWan Kenobi from the Phantom Menace. The face sculpt on there was really to the nines, absolutely amazing. The sculpt of the body all the way down with all these sort of like ripples and raffles and stuff all in the right places, and it just always looks like he's already in action. It just always looks like the end of the Phantom Menace, just the way he's swinging around all his robes and stuff. Just really good like paint applications on there. No kind of weathering on the figure, but it's so nice to keep him clean as well. But to me, this is like, if a Black Series figure wasn't a kind of like a collector's figure, they are, you know, but he's like an action figure. He's got all these butterfly joints, these really nice looking pinless elbows. At the point, they didn't do pinless legs at this point, but yeah, just really good looking. The other two here, they do share the same body. Fisto probably would have actually beaten this guy, but because of his articulation in his head and stuff like that, it's a little bit annoying. So that's why he hasn't come in that point, and he should be on a taller body. But again, he shares the same mould, and that's why he's on that one. So he's like kind of my second one here for number 9, like 9.5, whatever. And then we have the Attack of the Clones Obi-Wan. Again, really sort of done really well. It's just a reuse. But for me, the head on this one wasn't as good as the Padawan ObiWan Kenobi. So let's go on to another. So coming in at number 8, we have Bo Kattan. This figure blew me away when this first came out. Getting it out of that box, giving it a review, you just realise how well Hasbro have done with this one. And she is a great figure from the actual TV show as well. Like it's just pictured really well. So the helmet done great. We have sort of like added extra black wash and chipping and weathering all over this figure, but it didn't take it away from initially the actual figure itself. The actual likeness of the actress as well blows it away out of the park. Looks great. We've got dual wielding hands with like trigger fingers on here, the holsters, just literally all the sculpt on there is fantastic. So yeah, that's why she has come in at number 8. Really sort of done well, like literally just looks like the actual character from the show. And then we got Cosca Reeves as well, again looking really cool, great looking likeness to it. But again, she's not the pinnacleiest one because she is literally a reuse of the body as well. And I think the paint applications on this one was a bit better than this one because it had a lot of paint chippings and stuff as well. Plus, they hadn't done the right boots on here. She should just have normal boots, so we've repainted over the actual armour parts here. So they should be just brown boots on this one. The helmets are slightly different. This one's got extra sort of metal parts on the ears and stuff on there as well. But anyway, yeah, and that's why Bo-Katan comes in at number 8. Coming in at number 7, we have Fennec Shand. Absolutely great figure. You probably realise that from the actual review as well when I was doing it. We have actually added on a few extra paint apps on here, but nothing too much. It's just like a silver line, extra bit of weathering on the head, and then painting the gun. So really not a lot was added to the figure itself. But yeah, again, pinless elbows for even a smaller elbow. We've got pinless knees as well down here, but just the actual texture all over the figure. All over the sort of rib plastic parts as well, going down to these bits, and the likeness as well. Just fantastic, really great figure, and yeah, a really good addition to the Star Wars line and stuff on there as well. So yeah, really good by Hasbro, just fantastic, and that is why she is number 7 in the list, and she will, I think, forever will remain at least in the top 10. To be honest with you, really good and really well done. So coming in at number 6, we have ARC Trooper Echo from obviously the Clone Wars. I know a lot of you will probably put this one down into even probably the lower digits of the top 10, but for me it's getting quite difficult from now on. But for me this one was really good, but just not as good as the other ones that are to follow, to be honest with you. But Hasbro have done a fantastic job on this one. It's, you know, it's really hard to put these into any kind of number. We've got the butterfly joints on here as well. We've got the new mould sort of for the arms and the legs of the clone troopers and stuff on there as well. We have added an extra sort of wash over the figure and extra paint applications and brought him out a little bit more. But again, you know, removable helmet. You know, we've got the backpack. It comes with the guns. It even comes with like the rifle and the carbine as well for the DC blasters. So yeah, really good. Even this part here is not hindered at all, but I do think he just kind of lacked a little bit on the paint applications when you do get him out of that box. But nonetheless, he's still a really good figure, and it's not knocking him. This is, you know, he's still number 6 in hundreds before him. So yeah, still a great figure, but not lower for me. So coming in at number 5, we have another ObiWan Kenobi. So yeah, this is from the same line as ARC Trooper Echo, but for me, this one, I do like my Jedis, and especially being on Instagram as well, I do like posing these guys, and these guys really have the kind of articulation there that really needs it, to be honest. You've got the butterfly joints on here, you know, you've got the pinless elbows and the pinless legs. We have kind of severed this little bit down so he actually has a bit more articulation in there, and obviously we have had some extra weathering on there. But for me, I do like my Jedis. Great likeness for Ewan McGregor as well, and he's my favourite character from the Clone Wars, to be honest. Really enjoyed the Obi-Wan, so bringing that over into the Black Series line with this armour and stuff like that, it was just like, wow, fantastic figure. And he can just do anything that you want him to do for any particular sort of posing and photos, to be honest. So yeah, this is why he's number 5 in the list. But yeah, really great, really looking figure, and yeah. Right, so I guess let's go down to the final countdown. So we've had 2 Obi-Wans and now we have 2 Echoes. So this is number 4 for me. Absolutely, I was blown away with this figure, and I think it's not actually just down to Hasbro. I think it's just generally down to the actual look of Echo from the Bad Batch. I absolutely love this helmet. It looks fantastic. Just that small glossed visor in there with the actual figure as well, all the sculpts as well. And I think this one is actually done better than the ARC Trooper Echo, to be honest. It feels more in proportion and just feels nicer. So yeah, with this guy you actually got a removable helmet as well, and it's just got that sort of like bit that's put into that kind of sculpt, you know, with the head sculpt in there and with that earpiece as well to that design. I know that's not Hasbro's idea, but I just love that kind of way it's incorporated into the helmet. We've got backpack, we've got extra guns on here, we've got that extra kind of part that fits over the top of this as well. It actually comes with more accessories than the new deluxe Boba Fett, to be honest with you, with an extra backpack and bits. But yeah, articulation in there, same as all the rest, the new ones with pinless elbows, pinless legs, and the clone trooper sort of parts on there. But it's just all those extra details that they've added to the guy, just to really bring him into life. Yeah, there's no Hunter in this list, to be honest, and if I didn't have the Echo, Hunter would have took his place. So yeah, really good, really done well. So yeah, and that is why Echo is number 4. So on to the last 3, and this is no surprise, Ahsoka Tano from Mandalorian coming in at number 3. If you saw the review, you knew that I was literally blown away from this figure. Just everything about it absolutely fantastic. So just starting off on the outset, we have got that fantastic sculpt. We have got all this part down here as well, and it's just all incorporated really well. I didn't even have to add much to the figure. All I've done was weather up these sort of hand guards, put a few extra lights in here and down on her feet as well. I just love the incorporation of this knee that doesn't get in the way of this part. Still got the articulation in there, but what blew it away for me for this figure was these beautiful butterfly joints. You never get anything like this in a Black Series figure at all, and after playing with Marvel Legends and stuff for a long time, that kind of blew me away, and that's why she is at number 3, to be honest with you. Fantastic and really done by Hasbro, and everything all the way down, there's just nothing else to add to the figure, and just done great. So I guess on to the last 2. Who could it be? So coming in at number 2, we have Captain Rex. As you're a big fan of the channel, you all know that this guy introduced me into the Black Series, so this one I do hold dear to my heart. Maybe this is a bit of a personal preference, but honestly I do think for the age of the figure he holds up to pretty much quite a lot of the new ones. The only thing he hasn't got is the pinless like joints and stuff on here, but as you can see, the articulation in the elbow comes right up here. Well, I don't think I actually added anything paint wise to this guy. Maybe I painted the pins, just maybe, I can't remember. But we've got all this extra weathering on here that was already on the figure, all around on there, and it's on the back of the figure. We've got the Kamara as well, which is 10 times better than what Commander Wolf was, and yeah, just really good figure. Even got the silver sort of paints on here as well, which normally they miss off these days. With the helmet wise, it's actually removable, and we've got the Captain Rex face underneath as well, looking really good likeness to Mark Morrison with that face tech as well. So yeah, you could even get ARC Trooper Echo to stand next to him, and you would think that these guys are from the same wave. So this being how old he is, compared to some of the rest of these ones that are in the number 10, which are quite fairly new, to be honest, I think he's done really well. So yeah, that is it. So I guess, what is number 1? Here we have the honourable mentions. Now, you could probably look at these guys and you'd be like, what the hell? Why is that one not in the top 10? Or why the hell is this even here? I can hear you screaming out, to be honest with you. So for me, I'll start with the most obvious one. A lot of people probably think, why is it not in my top 10? So we have got Boba Fett, the new deluxe. Fantastic figure, absolutely sensational. To me though, there was just kind of a few off bits with this guy. The backpack kept falling out, there was paint missing, and he was a deluxe figure. He needed a cloth cape as well, which we added to this guy. If he had this and what he looked like now, then he would be in the top 10, but having to add all these extra parts and other bits on him, then he just falls out of it, to be honest. He just needed too much modification to even get into the top 10 for me. Now the Marine and Guard, if I said that just right, but he's, well, absolutely great. great sculpt, great articulation, and he just looks fantastic. However, it's just one of those guards, and it's not like essential. I don't think you should go out there and technically get one of these guys unless you're really into the original trilogy and stuff like that. But Hasbro have done this one really fantastic, even with this sort of like movable jaw and stuff on there. And we don't really need to add anything to this figure because the weathering, the leather effect, all this on here is done great, and it's a proper big weighty figure as well. It just looks really good. So yeah, he's just missed out, to be honest. The more I kept adding to the list, he kept getting pushed off, and then eventually he did just miss out on the top 10. And then going down to these two, so the Rebel Trooper here is kind of more like value for money. I mean, you can get this guy now for even like £13, and he has two faces. He's got about 30 different looks because you can put goggles on, scarf down, scarf up, and stuff like that. Got all the articulation there, and it's just a fantastic figure. That's why he's sort of like in the sort of just missing out to be that part, because even though he's a really good figure, he's just a rebel soldier. But just giving Hasbro utilising just all these different features for this guy, that's why he's incorporated into this one here, and he's just missed out on that top 10 because these other figures really excel over to what this guy kind of looks. This guy needs a bit more weathering and needs a bit more kind of colouring and stuff on there. If he had all that by Hasbro originally, then I think he would hit the top 10 as well. And then we have Val, and everyone, I can imagine everyone out there, it astonishes me that you can actually pick this figure up for about £7. Now, every time that I wanted to do a top 10 video, Val, I always wanted to put in there, but we have had some really great figures of her recently, and unfortunately in the list she did fall out. But I wanted to include her into this video because she's always going to be one of those figures that I think literally done. She actually blew me away when I got her out of the packet, even though Solo's not a great film and stuff like that, but she's got the articulation in the figure of kind of like an old standard Black Series. We haven't got like butterfly joints and stuff, but we've got everything else in there. You know, even got pinless elbows as well. At that point I didn't do the pinless knees, but the likeness of the actress, the actual sculpt on her as well. We've got these little goggles down here all painted. We've got all these extra sort of like tubing and wiring. We actually got the different coloured silvers and stuff in the right place. And I think really she's a really good figure, and I think, to be honest, if you haven't picked her up for £7, you're really missing out a treat. She's a really nice looking figure, to be honest with you, and yeah, she'll always sort of be one of those people that really surprised me because I didn't really expect that I was going to enjoy this figure. But yeah, she's really good. So I guess we should actually go into number 1. So coming in at number 1, we have Farm Boy. I'm joking. Get out of the way. We have the Stormtrooper, the re-released, remoulded, retooled Stormtrooper. Absolutely fantastic, this figure. When they was gonna do like the remoulded, reissued Stormtrooper of this one, it was kind of hard because I really liked the original Stormtrooper, which was this guy here. And kind of think of it now, this is like 10 times like the leap forward. I could never go back to this Stormtrooper. It just looks awful compared to this guy. The white gloss fully all over the body. He holds the gun fantastically as well. And it just looks like a little guy in an actual Stormtrooper suit. Just where the armour hangs off the top here. The actual torso part as well is sort of like, it's on a different part as well. So we've got all those butterfly joints in here. The way he moves his head, he just looks like a little guy, and I absolutely think he's fantastic. And kudos to Hasbro to bringing this one out. They really nailed it. Yeah, there's a few other sort of versions of him. I've got the Flame Trooper, I've got the Malta Stormtrooper as well, and I do have the Remnant Stormtrooper. I know there's the Patrol Trooper and stuff at the moment, but I haven't got that one as yet. But it's primarily just the clean Stormtrooper underneath it. So the White Trooper, or the Shiny, is probably, it is the pinnacleish one for me. You can get all his articulation. He's a little bit hindered on this guy because he's got all those kind of backpack and stuff, and we had to customize this one as well to make him look more how he should be, so that's why he's not at the top. The Malta Stormtrooper, as fun as he is and as nice as he is, I don't think really the yellow really truly works on this guy, and it's not as kind of iconic as the Shiny. The Remnant, you know, the weathering on him is not exactly great. These sort of greyed out lenses as well is a little bit of a put off, and it does kind of even still look a bit like a bootleg compared to this guy, even though it's exactly the same mould. But yeah, this guy for me is definitely number one in the line. He is absolutely sensational and fantastic, and every collection out there is guaranteed to have one of these. If you don't have a Stormtrooper in your collection, what is wrong with you? So that is it. That is my top 10. So let's just round this up. So there we have it. That is my top 10 favourite Black Series figures that sit on my shelf currently. Yeah, we have got a lot of new ones in here, but I think it's now that Hasbro are really sort of picking up the pace, especially with this articulation and stuff in there. It really actually emphasises on these figures and stuff as well. So let me know in the comments down below, what have I missed off, what have I got incorrect, or do you agree? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you do believe that there should be another one, in which grading do you reckon that sort of one, that figure should have sort of arrived in the list? Let me know. And then you can comment, you can subscribe, you can ding the bell, follow me on Instagram, and join as a member. So until next time, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.